Trailblazers are officially hitting the market for the second time in their existence.
If Jody Allen and the Vulcans couldn't have Cooper flagged, they didn't want the team anymore.
Yeah, I've already seen some people like, "Oh, convenient timing on this."
They're
No,
out.
that machine is so big, it had nothing to do with this. It had nothing to do with this.
Would have helped.
I've talked to governors about players on teams and rosters and what they actually mean to a sale.
Yeah.
And they don't. Unless you've got a guy in his prime who is LeBron James, it doesn't really matter.
Could you imagine if the Blazers would have won the lottery last night and then today they come out and they're like, now we're selling?
Yeah. Enjoy.
That would have been such a weird...
I mean, people would have just been in the streets.
Yeah, there would have been parties being... I'm assuming, based on the reaction, there are a lot of people partying in the streets now because Jody Allen and the Paul Allen Trust have announced the sale of the team. This is huge news, man.
It's massive news. And I just have this horrible feeling in my gut about new ownership.
Why?
Just because it fails so spectacularly and how far it sets back teams. New ownership typically comes in and bombs horrifically.
Well, usually teams that are changing hands are not in the best shape to begin with.
Mm-hmm.
And when you take that into consideration, there is a dip.
The Suns are in really good shape.
The Suns seemingly were in really good shape. And then an owner came in and said, hey, we want to make a big swing at this. And I don't blame him. Bradley Beal was, I don't know why.
Everybody knew that was a terrible deal the second it happened.
I do not know why. It didn't seem like a good deal at the time.
No.
But
when it was being discussed, you're sitting there going, why?
Yeah, because you're like, he'll be the third best player on that team.
Mm-hmm. With a no-trade clause.
The no-trade clause is bonkers.
Again, shouts to his agent.
But you also have, there are success stories too, and that needs to also be reiterated. The big thing with me is, one, we don't know how long that this process is going to take. As we had Brian Berger on earlier, SB Radio, Sports Business Radio, he was talking about, look, it's going to be an auction. This is going to the highest bidder.
Yeah.
The person with the most money willing to spend on the Portland Trailblazers will be the next owner of the team.
There is some wiggle room for discretion in that sale. Like, let's say that one team is within X amount of money, but the Allen estate prefers ownership group A over B.
Yeah, Berger used the word there's incentives.
Yeah, for the most money.
The most money
Yes.
to go in the sale. With that, you just want somebody who cares then.
Yes, and as it
not
pertains
just
to
a portfolio.
The Celtics ownership. The other group, I think it was the Pagula group, who didn't end up getting it. They released a statement afterwards of like basically the line was, don't come to us when they aren't willing to spend.
Yeah.
Because the group that bought it is backed by VC money.
It's a slippery slope.
Mm-hmm.
And
they were willing to pay more. The Pagula group was.
That's why, Ishbia made the trade for Bradley Beal. Did not go well. But he's cared about the fans. He wants to win.
Mm-hmm. There's no questioning that. That is 100% true.
You need to have somebody that's willing to let basketball people make those basketball decisions. Very important.
Of which they're now going on to their third head coach in his tenure. And the general manager has been moved out of the general manager position to an advisory role.
Yeah, that's not great.
So the basketball people are not basketballing.
No.
By the way, the two of the coaches that they've fired have won titles previously.
Well,
so
yikes. If you look at it though, all right, let's go through the teams that have sold, right?
Mm-hmm.
Having owners that do care, we're still not sure about the Boston Celtics and their new ownership group because they haven't taken control yet. Phoenix Suns in Ishbia. He cares.
Mm-hmm.
Doesn't get out of the way.
And their future is in real doubt as they don't have any draft capital that they control.
Utah Jazz.
Good space.
Matt Smith cares. He cares about the fans.
Ryan Smith.
Ryan Smith. Hired Danny Ainge.
Mhm.
They have a path.
Now, the path that they have starts with the 5th overall pick.
Yep.
So it's not like I like the idea of what they're doing, certainly. And I like that Smith cares. There's no doubt about that. He brought them also the hockey team, and he's part of the process of trying to bring a baseball team to Utah. The guy genuinely cares. But the future outlook for the Jazz is not better than the Blazers right now.
The Clippers. Oh, I mean, they're going to be getting Lauri Markkanen, Colin Sexton, Walker Kessler back, and then whomever they have at the 5th pick.
Mhm.
I mean, they're not in ruins right now.
They're not in great shape either. Now they do have the draft capital that the Blazers don't have. That's where it
A
matters.
ton of it.
Mhm.
And bona fide proven leadership who's won.
In Ainge. No doubt about it.
Clippers with Ballmer. Yes, that's an owner you want.
As an
That's
owner,
you
yes.
want.
But I'm talking about a success.
Oh, Blazer fans would take that 10 times out of 10. 10 times out of 10.
I mean, they have failed spectacularly at every turn in catastrophic fashion.
He has
Whether it was the
gone
Chris
out,
Paul Clippers or the Kawhi Clippers.
taken big swings,
Mhm.
gotten really talented players,
Yeah.
built a
Built it-
brand new arena for them with his own money,
Yes.
cares about the
Mhm.
fans, made incentives for the fans with the wall.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Ballmer is a success.
Oh, no. I'm not disagreeing with the success. I'm talking about the impact on the team being this thing that's just so great.
Do you remember what the Clippers were before?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Because again, the bar is the bar. This is the team that still hasn't made it out of the second round.
The Houston Rockets with the Fertitas. But they're letting the basketball people make the basketball
Yeah.
decisions, and they're willing to spend money and go get guys like, seemingly the ownership has been like, you guys do whatever. Fred VanVleet, sure,
Mhm.
it's working. Dylan Brooks, he's a piece that is
Sure.
a great role player. We have the money to spend. Go ahead and spend it on him.
Which at one point in time might not have been the case through COVID.
But they do care, and they
Yep.
are on the right trajectory. The Brooklyn Nets,
Yikes, dog.
not great.
The last couple of owners, whether it's Prokhorov or Josai.
And then that brings us to the Phoenix Suns, right? Those are the last 5 sales, and we can't include the Celtics in that because we just don't know.
We
yet.
don't know.
I mean, and look, we can throw the Minnesota Timberwolves, which we don't know yet either, with A-Rod and what's the other guy?
Mark Laurie.
Yeah, Mark Laurie. So, I mean, those are our most recent sales that we've seen of NBA teams.
And even before taking hold of the team, they traded Karl Anthony Towns to cut payroll before taking full ownership of the team.
Well, they also
Don't have money.
brought in Julius Randle.
It's worked out for him, but it was not a transaction.
They're
done.
going to the conference finals.
Yeah. Well, Ant Edwards is a big part of that.
Well, but I mean, they saw Karl Anthony Towns has his warts in the playoffs, and they were like, "Yeah, all right." Jimmy Butler made it abundantly clear what he doesn't have,
Mhm.
and so they said, "All right, well, how about a guy who does have?"
And you're talking about ownership again. When we're talking about some of the worst owners in sports, Glenn Taylor was there.
Yeah, he was there. So I mean, Minnesota has made some moves,
Mhm.
but it's working for them.
Boy, was Ant a demon last night.
He was great. He was great. So, yeah, changes are going to happen, though.
Mhm.
And you got to be uncomfortable with it. I think one thing for Blazer fans that you should be happy about is that I don't think there's an attachment to anybody here right now that you'd be like, nope, can't do without him.
Oh.
I really don't think that the fan base.
On the personnel side?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so it's not like new ownership's going to come in and just trade Damian Lillard away, because that's already happened.
Yeah.
And that makes it a little bit more palatable for fans and whomever comes in. You just got to hope they care about basketball, they get out of the way, and they keep the damn team here, which is far-fetched, but there's that little sliver that should be in the back of everybody's mind.
Trying to thread that needle is difficult.
It is. That's
to
why
say
I'm
the
trying to
least.
bully Mark Cuban into it.
Look, and Cuban's not without his warts. He had to figure out a lot of stuff that went wrong for them early on, and then they got real lucky.
Yeah.
There was a point in time where, like, is Dirk the guy kind of a deal, and then now they've got a statue of 41 outside.
You're damn right. and a championship.
Pretty
And
nuts.
Mark Cuban still has that picture. He was very excited about the Mavs winning the lottery, though, so we got to change that.
I mean, he cares. There's no doubt about that.